Hey, hope you're all good. Thank you to everyone that watched my video last week, and to everyone for watching this video as well. It's exciting to start up a YouTube channel, and hopefully in the next wee while I'm going to start up a podcast too, which will feature suppliers from the local wedding industry that will come on, talk about their experiences, and hopefully a bit about themselves so people can get to know them as well. Today though, I'm going to talk about what you get from me when you book myself as your photographer. That's pre, during and post wedding, everything that's involved in that. Having shot over 20 weddings in the last year, it means I receive a lot of inquiries, so I thought it'd be good to do a video about what is involved with myself. Firstly, like anyone that has their own business though, it's such a great feeling when that email or message on social media comes through from a couple looking to inquire about wedding packages. I love hearing about everyone's wedding plans, where they're getting married, and other details about the wedding. I believe it's important to respond quickly to these messages, and I don't have automated responses set up on any platforms. It's always me replying directly to you so we can immediately start getting to know each other. It can also be the case that couples are sending out the same message to multiple photographers, maybe to gauge a bit more information about each one. So if I did wait a day or two to reply, they may have already had replies from 3 or 4 other photographers or even booked with one. So it's important to me that we get speaking to each other quickly and getting to know each other. It's an even better feeling when I know the couple are coming directly to me because they like my style of photos or have been at weddings that I've photographed before. That definitely comes the longer you're in wedding photography. Maybe at the start you're shooting to book you're shooting weddings and you're saying yes to everything to build up your portfolio and get your name out there. So when people do start wanting to book you specifically for your style of photos, it's a great feeling, and I believe I'm starting to get to that stage now with people coming directly to me to book their wedding photography. So let's take a look at some more photos I've taken, and I'll talk you through the process of what you'll get from me pre, during and post wedding. Firstly, I'll reply to your inquiry, thanking you for getting in touch, and I might look for a few more details if they haven't been included in the original message, such as a venue, a date, and what type of wedding photography and coverage you want. I offer full wedding day photography, which is from around 2 hours pre-ceremony until around an hour after the first dance. And I also offer to tailor their day as they wish. Some couples want to start shortly before the ceremony and end after their speeches, so it's totally up to the couple, and I would never try to convince them what they should have. Instead, I'll provide as much information as possible so they can make an informed and confident decision. If the couple want to meet with me or have a chat over the phone or on Zoom, then that's great. It gives us even more time getting to know each other, which goes a long way into making everyone a bit more relaxed on the wedding day, and I can understand why people would want to speak to their photographer before actually booking them. So pre-wedding. Once booking has been confirmed, I will again offer a pre-wedding meetup or Zoom, depending on the location of the couple. This is something I tend to do before every wedding, and it's usually around 2 to 3 weeks pre-wedding, as that is when all the timings and everything for the wedding day have been confirmed. We will sit down, usually over a coffee, get the crack and talk about how they want their day to go, any ideas they have for photos, or anything else that they'd like to discuss with me. And then on to the wedding day itself, which I'll talk about from a full wedding day perspective. Around 2.5 hours pre-ceremony, I'll arrive at where the bridal party are getting ready and take photos there. I won't immediately come into the room and start photographing everyone in it. I'll introduce myself, lay down my cameras, and ask if they have anything special they'd like photographed. These are detail shots, such as the dress, flowers and rings. I find this relaxes me into the room, along with everyone else in it. If the groom and groomsmen are getting ready at the same location, I'll get some photos of them, but this tends to be at the wedding venue when they're dressed and ready to go. Then it's into the wedding. I'll go and speak with the celebrant or minister, most of whom I've probably worked with already before, so we know how each other works, but it's good to confirm they are okay with photographers moving about during the ceremony, and if there's anything special planned during the ceremony that I'll need to get in position for, we will talk about that then. As the guests start to arrive, I'll photograph this, and then the ceremony begins. I always ask brides whether they want their photos of them coming down the aisle, from me beside the groom, looking back at them, or me at the top of the aisle, behind the bride as they walk down. It's entirely up to them. During the ceremony, I'll walk about a little bit, but it won't be too much and it shouldn't be noticeable. I aim to be as quiet as possible. And as the ceremony finishes, I'll get myself into position in the aisle for the couple walking back up it, and then it's out of the room or the church and everyone greeting each other outside. I feel this is an important part of the day for photographers to capture reactions from family and friends as they congratulate the couple for the first time. I'll leave everyone to celebrate and have a drink for a while, and then we will go into family photos. Pretty much every venue around Inverness and the Highlands have nice grounds for family photos. I know this can be a daunting or maybe even boring part of the day for people, but these are probably the photos most people will look back on in years to come. So I always say to write a list of what family photos they want, and this means we don't miss any out. I'll give that list to a best man or bridesmaid who will also help me gather people round. And I tend to only need 15 to 30 minutes for family photos. I never want to keep people hanging around for longer than that. After this is couple photos. We will either stay at the venue or go elsewhere. I can drive us to anywhere the couple would like to go, and I try to keep this as relaxed as possible. Not overly posing couples, and the more natural shots of a couple looking at each other, smiling and embracing are my favourite to capture. Returning to the venue is still usually around the time everyone is waiting to get into the main room for speeches and their meal, so there are more opportunities here for photos with the guests then too. And whilst this is going on, I will go into the room where the meal is going to be, photograph more details such as the cake, any table plans, the tables themselves, and anything else that's in the room which the couple have spent time on preparing for the wedding. Speeches and cake cuttings tend to be before the meal these days, and I'd recommend speeches before the meal from my own experience as a groom and a best man. No one wants to be sitting eating their meal knowing they've got a speech to give after. Following the meal, evening guests will start to arrive, and it's nice to get photos with these guests too. Also, if it's a nice night outside, we can head out for more couple photos around the venue. And then it's into the first dance, an evening. Everyone is typically in good spirits by now, and makes for some amazing photos on the dance floor and around the room too. Following the wedding, once I've got home, I'll upload both my cameras and the memory cards onto the computer, back these files up, and begin editing some photos. I will edit around 30 to 50 photos and send these via online transfer within 24 hours to the couple, although it tends to end up being more than 50. I think it's a really positive reflection on your work to send photos within 24 hours, and the couple are usually still buzzing from the wedding, so will appreciate being able to relive their day again so quickly. Around 3 or 4 weeks after the wedding, I will have edited around 200 to 300 photos and uploaded these to a USB along with all the photos I've taken on the day and edited, which is usually around 1500 to 2000. This USB will then be posted out or dropped off at your house, and I will keep all the wedding day photos, including the edits, on hard drives once the photos have even been sent to the couple. I try and keep on top of social media posting, and will ask the couple if they're okay with some photos going on Facebook and Instagram. If they aren't, that's totally fine, and I understand why people might not want that, but I'm thankful to the couples that do, as it allows me to showcase some of my weddings. Thank you for watching and listening. Hopefully you found this useful. I'm Ross Cooper Photos on Facebook and at Ross Cooper Wedding Photographer on Instagram. If you want to see more photos, please subscribe for more content like this.